Well, good evening. It's Robert A. Wilson with Cowboy Wisdom. I am a hypnotherapist, NLP practitioner, timeline coach, published author, and also have a CD called Visionary Vocabulary. It's a DVD. But tonight I want to talk about letting go of self-help, self-improvement, and using them words in your life in that way, because when you're asking for help, the one person using the word help is actually the one asking for help, because that's the one that's using it and expressing it. So as we go through this and we expand to this, I got to ask, how do you go to seminars, and then you come home and about 3 days later you lose the adrenaline rush of the seminar. And as you're losing that rush, because a lot of times when I went to the seminars, I'd come home and I'd be all pumped up about everything. And then I'd be trying to do exactly the same thing as the presenter. And that's what I've discovered. When you try to follow the presenter verbatim, you're actually avoiding the learning lesson, because it's an individual. Expansionism is where the world will take you forward. Because when you go to the seminar and you listen to the presenter, they're telling you how they expanded their life. But it never really actually comes forth, because personal expansion is individual. The road to success is individual. Everything out there is a tutor and a metaphor. But I always tried to take it as an absolute, and if I followed what they did verbatim, everything would expand. Then I found out when it didn't happen like they said and as quick as they said, I'd lose interest and step back, and then I'd go back into my old ways. And that's something I've really expanded into in my coaching, speaking, and all that. I show people and allow them to find and discover their hidden talents. People hide their talents from themselves. The wisdom and everything, we hide it from ourselves, because everybody's wisdom and way of life is unique, but it's different than the society-trained way of life. So how do we allow the society way of life control our thinking? I shouldn't say control, but have an underlying current of control, even though we think we're moving forward. It's the word think and know that keep us locked in yesterday. It's the feeling is where we never address. And they never address, the presenters never really addressed. It's the feelings and emotions that we have to detach from and walk through, and to actually go through the events. But the events that we go through are being played out in our daily life today, because we've never ever had a past. We've always had a continuous now. And every time we try to heal the past, how is the present moment mirroring the past? But we follow others, and that's the thing about the world. When we see somebody successful, we try to do everything just like them. What they do is a guide to glide us through life. So as we glide, we can ride the train of fame, because it's really about understanding the presenter is up there to open your eyes to your talents, not to take you somewhere or do anything. But what they're really talking about is how they opened their eyes to their talents. And that's what everything does with life, is about opening people's personal expansionism, because everything happens inside me. But something I'm really opened up to and addressed, and it's only been the last couple months, is the feelings and emotions I try to hide from myself. And when I put on that tough guy act, that's when all hell breaks loose and I become basically I'm the cooked goose because I fall back into what I know. It's allowing myself to go through and detach them feelings and emotions from my daily life and opening up my listening heart, seeing soul, enterprising emotions, and far-seeing feelings will allow me to move forward. And what that does, it stops me being a follower and trying to emulate everybody that I've ever come across. And something else I'm going to say here that I've discovered, people like followers. So when they make a CD or a DVD or write a book, they instantly have buyers for it because people want to know what they're saying. And that is something I really discovered. So I listen and read now with feelings and emotions to expand. And that's a key word for me. I use the word expand. I never use the word change anymore. And if you do that for 30 days, use the word expand, it takes the fear out of the new. Will there still be angst and unsteadiness? Yes. There is no silver bullet, and nobody is ever going to take you straight to the promised land like they say, because it's an individual voyage through the hidden stuff within ourselves. So when you stop following the leaders and start being the leaders, being the leader of your life, you lionize internal foresight every day. And what that does is you stop looking for other people for the answers, and you start finding the pathways of wisdom, innovation, and talent to experience your life. That is something I discovered, and only one I can talk about is me. So I expanded into this. I can tell people what's going on in the world, but that doesn't always mean it's going to expand them. But when I speak about the way I expanded myself, I feel very comfortable, very confident, but I allow people to see and feel and understand. Just because they didn't have the outcome somebody else did means absolutely zilch. Because when you go inside and start unchiding that inner voice that's always chiding you, you're not good enough, you're not this, and everybody has it. And even though they say they've got it overcome, it still filters in every once in a while because it's just inside us. But something I've really expanded on that is if I can feel the word inspiration flowing through my brain power, my brain prowess, I can allow that to build my roads of riches for me to expand of new things. It isn't the new that scares us, it's the letting go of what we know is where the fear is. Because the wisdom, the talent within us is going to scare us more than the world, because it's new and it's going to seem out of place compared to the society's trained mind. And that is how does society and all the way we was taught through school still have a hold on your life and keep you blocked and locked where you're at? That's just been a long process for me to admit. But the school system still has an undercurrent because we think what we read in books is going to take us to the world. And it's only going to take us as far as the writer or the world is today. The universe within people is the one that will expand. And universe means one song, one of everything. You have one great thing within you and multiple dynamic things within you. But it's going to be different, and it's going to be way outside the boundaries of society and the boundaries of your thinking. And I'm going to touch on this. Boundaries are nothing more than new fears. Because eventually, whatever you set a boundary on, it's going to become it's going to become a circumstance in your life where you have to face that fear. You don't have to indulge in it, but you listen to what the person's saying or whatever's going on and see what's hiding inside yourself that is making you afraid to walk the line. Boundaries are fears. Forgiveness is a crutch. Heal is something that keeps us in yesterday. Can you open up to appreciate that situation in your life because you expanded through it, you lived through it, but how was it was the control within you trying to control life? Every heartbreak I've ever had has been control. I had their life figured out to be with me, and I was really putting basically the simplest word is a stranglehold on their life because I wanted them I had their life all mapped out. And that's where everything fell apart because I wasn't willing to go outside the boundaries that I set for themselves. But boundaries are the biggest fear makers we have today because as soon as something gets unsavory, people will set a boundary. And as soon as that boundary's set, that's a new fear, new limitation, new everything. But if you're willing to listen and go through it, you don't have to do this all in one day either. You can ask, okay, where is this within me, and what will happen when I set this free, and how will I feel when I'm free? Using the word liberation, free, emancipation, and unwords, unleash, unlock, and all them, they allow you to become, over time, liberated and expanding with an energy to listen to the world, because it's when we listen, lights up, internal savvy today, expanding nouvelle vague visions. And nouvelle vague is an unexperienced experience. It's something that it's untarnished everything in your life, and that's what a dream is. It's a nouvelle vague. It really goes this way. Outre nouvelle vague. It's beyond the conscious mind, and it's an experience we've never had tarnished by human life or by one of our experiences. And that is what inspiration, wisdom, it's untarnished utopian lure for you to move forward. And that is where life becomes fun. We're afraid to have fun with the unknown. Am I afraid to have fun with the unknown? Yes. I'm not there yet, but it's a path, a trail I'm willing to experience. And see, it's the accomplished outcome of the experiences that I desire to really move my life forward and energize the whys within myself to walk internally, seeing every day as wisdom, innovation, fun, laughter, love, health, wealth, the whole gamut. We got the gamut of damn it, where everything goes wrong, and the gamut of good, of gamut of grandeur, where everything feels good and is good. So as we allow ourselves to expand through life, realizing the limitations that I think are in the world are all within me, and allows everything else to open up. And something else I have to just admit, everything I encompass, I embedded, I taught myself. And when I say I taught myself, that allows me to be open my eyes of responsibility and my ears, my soul's ears, to hear everything in the world. Because accountability and responsibility take the blame and shame game out of our life, which is the sham I've used so many times. It's unbelievable. But it's okay. Whatever happened is happened. It's how I expand of it is where I really open up. And I'd like to say, oh yeah, I got the silver bullet, and you do this and you do that. That would be an untruth, because I never know what anybody's experienced. All I understand is this is how I expanded out of all that and keep walking forward on my path. It's called Walk of Wisdom, through life. But it's really being able to engage in the uncertainty and things that make us unsettling. Ask unsettling questions and don't try to answer them. Just let them go, because once that question's answered, everything, your subconscious and superconscious are already engaging. And how does this feel when you say you got a sub-self and a super self? And that's the superconscious and the sub-self and just the self. But the superconscious is where everything that's where your dreams and everything lies. It's about allowing the superconscious, the subconscious, and self all expand through life. It's kind of like the superconscious is a dreamer, the self is a planner, and the subconscious can be the critic. It's all however you want them to play. But self is a spiritual, enterprising lure, feeling life expand right in front of our eyes. And that is where I really enjoy spiritual growth, because I really have opened up to this, and this is what I really believe. I really trust. I'm a visible spirit walking through life. I was taught I was human through school books by other people, by people that told me everything I needed to know and what they wanted me to know. But when you can open up to that and just say I'm a spiritual savant walking through life, how does that feel? Let the doctors and everybody else worry about the human stuff. When you can detach from thinking in the human side, you can open up to the inspiration of life and really allow yourself to stop following and start listening to what everybody's saying to expand your life. And the question I ask every morning, what will I hear today that will expand my life? What will I see will energize my life? And how will all of it together enterprise my life so I experience the galvanized gusto I desire? Now I want to thank everybody for being here. I'm Robert A. Wilson. My website is mycowboywisdom.com. My books are available at amazon.com/author/Robert A. Wilson. And my books are available at howdiditeachmyselffear.com. And my books are wrote in first person and unpunctuated. And I only use capital letters and 3 dots because life is unpunctuated and unedited. But what I've discovered about punctuation, whenever you're reading where the comma is and everything, the subconscious mind does something. When it's unpunctuated, it allows you to read it and to feel what will expand you. And that is something you can try in your own life. Write some stuff unpunctuated with a capital letter, 2 lines, and 3 dots, and see what opens up for you and see what else happens with you. And I want to thank you all for being here tonight. And I'll be here next Tuesday, and we'll talk about something that will be new for me. And everybody enjoy a wonderful weekend. Just like you are wonderful people, and you're blessed with everything because you've got the wisdom and talent to expand your life. And good night.